Hi, today we will look at one geometry exercise and see how to correct it. So this is our exercise. Here it is. And here we see that we have a rectangle, one drawing, and its sides, meaning the dots, are marked by the variable text. For example, this one is C1, this is C2, this is C3, and this is C4. I name the elements which are here in the items tab. And each of these elements, each of these variable texts has three variants. That's why we have big varieties of these rectangles, because they have different sides. And let us look at the properties. We have entropy of 324. Everything is cool, but there is one problem with this exercise. Let us look at it on the website. So in the desktop preview, everything looks more or less fine. We can reload, see that the names of the dots, points change, and we have a lot of different rectangles. But when we look at this exercise on mobile, we are facing this situation. So as far as the variable text elements aren't fixed, they're just like that in GenExis, floating around the picture. They actually are floating around the picture on the mobile as well as on the desktop. But on the desktop we don't understand it, but on mobile we understand it very clearly. So these elements, they just float around the picture, and in this case the student can't even answer the question. They have to name the line which is parallel to LO, and we don't know where is L, where is O, where is LO, where is C, what's wrong with this exercise. This is unacceptable because at the moment our mobile traffic is from 50 to 70%, depending on the country. In some countries it may be even more, and we have to take care of our mobile users. This happened with the exercises because previously it wasn't the case, and the exercises have been made only for the desktop. That's why in some old geometry exercises we might face this problem when we see that the elements, the variable text elements, are just around the picture, and there is one picture or two pictures. At the moment, the only solution that we can offer is to make the pictures with the actual labels on them. But here we wouldn't want to make 300 pictures because it would be too much work. Let us remember that we must have at least 8 essential variants in the exercise, meaning at least 8 variants that actually affect the answer. In this case, at least 8 names of the side of rectangle. And thus we can make two drawings where we would have 8 different sides. But then the entropy would be too little. So we will make 3 drawings. Thus we will have 12 essential variants, and then we will reach the minimum 50 general variants with some tips and tricks. So let us start step by step. First of all, I will be making a copy of this exercise. I do it by clicking on Control and holding Control button on my computer keyboard, and then just dragging the exercise to the white field of the subtopic. The copy has been created successfully. I will be changing the status to draft. This is important because this is my draft exercise, so if it was ready, then I should make a draft. If the original was ready, then copy should be made draft. And also I will be making the sort order bigger. This is not really important, but it is for my convenience because I want this exercise to be in the end of the subtopic for me visually, and I won't be mixing it with the original exercise. It won't be near the original exercise. So here we go. This exercise is in the end, the original is here, so I know that I'm editing this exercise. But first of all, we'll have to be making the pictures. Now we will make the pictures without design because they're really simple and schematic. We will be making pictures in the Google presentations, and you will see why. Here I already have my presentation, which I've been using for myself, just making different drawings. And here you see that I've been doing some schematic drawings which are really simple, and all they require are just very general shapes and general text and color. So what we need to remember is that by our standard, the text should be Open Sans. Here it is, I have it installed already. If you don't have Open Sans on your computer, it won't be showing you in your Google presentation. So what you have to do is to search on internet or Google Open Sans, find this font, and like that. Here I can download it if I want, or maybe here I can't download it, I'm not really sure. But okay, the second link, yeah, here I can download this font and then install it on my computer just by opening the files. It is very simple, and I've been installing this font from this website. So just download the file and then open the files, and voila, the Open Sans is on your computer. Maybe you'll have to close and open the website, the browser, so that it would be showing in your Google presentations. So we know about the font. This is number one. In some cases, though, if we want our elements to look like mathematical elements on the website, you know that they don't look like Open Sans. They look a little bit differently. They look, well, like this, for example. Yes. Here we can use a font which is called the Times New Roman, and it would be either usual or italics, better even italics, so like that. But let us get back to our drawing. So first thing we know is the font. Second thing that we should remember are the colors. We have the standard colors which we have to stick to, so we don't select the colors that we want. We should be choosing those which we have in our content creation standard. Let us look at them and remember them in case we forgot. So here we have the main colors which we use generally on drawings. You can easily see them in different design elements of the website as well. The first main color is this yellow-green. Here we see its code, and also the red, green, and blue percentage. So if you have different graphic editors, you should find this information useful. And the secondary elements, for them we use this dark gray color. Here you can also see the code. Please make a screenshot for yourself or make a note somewhere, but you should have this presentation as well. So we are going to remember those two colors, and this is the main thing that we can use. And then we have some additional secondary colors. If the main colors, these two, are not enough for us, then we can use these additional colors. Here you can also see their codes. Here, yes, their names and examples of drawings. Please do not confuse this green and this gray with those two main colors. The main ones are darker and they're a bit different. Those are the secondary colors, like here you can use it to fill in your figure, or here you can use it, for example. So remember this. If you want to write some text, also use the main colors, either the yellow green, this one, or this dark gray. But again, if you need some secondary colors, then of course you can use these. Here you can see some of the drawings which I've been creating using the standard colors. Like here I needed a lot of them, so I used them. But now we need to create 3 rectangles. I have a rectangle here already, so I might as well duplicate this slide and draw a rectangle here just by changing some elements, colors like letters, and removing this line like this. But let us imagine that we haven't done anything, we don't know how to do. So I'll be showing you. You can make such presentations for yourself and keep simple schematic drawings in this presentation for yourself. So we have a blank slide. We're going to choose a background first of all, but again, if we have forgotten, then we can choose a background a little bit later. So I click on here, background, and it should be transparent. So we'll be drawing on transparent background. And done. For me, it looks like just white slide, but later you will see that it is actually transparent. So first of all, we want to draw a rectangle. We select shapes, we select rectangle, and we draw a rectangle. So here, see why I've chosen the Google Slides. I could have chosen the the PaintNet, yes, but in Google Slides, it is easier to actually center the figures or elements and make them parallel and etc. Because here, for example, I want it to be in the middle, and I just drag it and I find the middle point, and it actually helps me. Those red lines, they are clue for me where to put my rectangle if I want it to be in the middle of the slide, for example. So here I have a rectangle. I will make it a little bit more like this. Okay, good. Now what I want to do is to make it the standard colors, because now it's not some random color. First of all, I want to make it transparent like this, and then I want to choose a border color. The thing here for me that I've been already using the standard ones, and I've just made it. I've just used them one time, and then they're kept in this presentation, so I can return to them and use them as many times as I want. But let us imagine that I haven't selected the custom colors for myself. This means the standard colors for the website. So I choose custom, and then I click on plus, and I remember the code of my general green color. I'll be inserting it now. So I can do like this. I can dial, and here I see that it has been selected, and here we go. Our line is the standard green color, and it's been saved here, and I can use it as many times as I want. I don't have to then search for it many times. I'll be making the line a little bit bolder like this, and now I have to make the dots. I've noticed that in other figures on the website we sometimes have these little dots in the corners of our rectangle, and I'll be doing it, and you will also see why I'm using the Google Slides. So I'm gonna insert the oval, and here we go. It's going to be white, so here we have it. White with green border here, and it's on the top, at the top of my drawing, but it's too big, and I'm going to make it smaller. So this is my magnifier, and now going to make it a little bit smaller. Here I'm just using a magnifier to be able to edit it better. So like this. Let us see whether it's little enough. This dot, yeah, it's okay. Like that, perfect. Now we can make copies of this. I'm holding Control and dragging. Okay, so now we have 4 dots, and now I just grab one and drag it to the corner, and again this red line which you see, it just helps me to make it parallel to this dot. Now I take this one, drag it to here, and again the red line helps me to make it parallel and even. Oops, too fast. Grab it and put it on the corner. Superb. Now we have a good looking rectangle. The next step is to add the letters on the drawing. For this I select the text box, I put it somewhere here, and first of all I'll make the text centered horizontally and vertically, and I will be writing A, choosing caps lock. And here I have Arial, which is incorrect. I have pre-installed the Open Sans. I select Open Sans, and I see that it's too little. Maybe I will select 40. Here I don't have 40, but I can actually dial. Or maybe even like that. Yes, it could be okay. So like this. Remember to choose the correct color for the text. Here, as I've seen also in this subtopic in which this exercise is, the letters have been green, so I've been making it green, and as I've been using it previously, it's been saved here, so I'm going to select it like this, and then just move it so that I'm satisfied by how it is looking. Well, it's more or less okay, and then I'm going to copy it. And again put it on the corners. Here it will be helping me, not like this. Good. Here, see, it helps me. This is what is good about the Google presentations or Google Slides. Here we go. Good. And now we just change the letters here. Good. So I have my rectangle number 1. Now so maybe these two could be a little bit closer, like that. Well, it doesn't have to be super perfect, but try to do it as good as you can. Oh, it's okay. So I have to make 2 more rectangles, and I'll be just duplicating this slide and then changing the letters here. I've prepared already on the sheet of paper what rectangles I want. Good. Next step is to save them as pictures. For that, you select the slide that you want to download as a picture, and then click on File, Download, and Download as PNG. You see here that we have the SVG as well, which would be preferable, but there have to be certain options which I don't really know how to do. So PNG is okay as well. So I'm saving this image, this slide as a PNG file, and the same with all other images. Unfortunately, I can't select all and download all. I have to download each of those separately, but this is really fast. So I'll be showing them, seeing them in folder, and for my convenience, I will also rename them. Great. The pictures are ready. Now let us get back to editing our exercise. And unfortunately, we'll have to remove almost all the elements which we already see here, because we won't be needing them. We will be using other elements. Like here we have the rectangle image, which we might keep. Let us keep it, but we will be doing a trick. So we will be first of all uploading our 3 rectangles which we have drawn already. Here we go. Great, we have our 3 rectangles here, and here we will be doing the following. So we will be needing actually needing 12 variations, and I'm gonna use the new option which is called the proxy or reference. So here I'm changing my multimedia type and I'm choosing reference and ABCD rectangle, the first one. Here we go. And I'm gonna copy it 4 times. Okay, it's not working for me, so I better delete it and make a new one. It's no problem. So this one we actually don't need. Let's create new one. And instead of image, here we choose reference. And in reference, we choose ABCD. Great. Then we copy it 3 times so that we have 4 similar variants. Then in the next one, we also do the reference, but we choose the second rectangle, this one, and we also copy it so that we would have 8 variants total. 4 with the first one, 4 with the second one. And then we do the same with the third rectangle. Here we go. I don't know why it's so big. Let me see. Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, let's get back. So this is our third rectangle, and just copy, copy, and copy. Great. So now we have 12 variants. 4, 4, and 4, like this. Next step. Next step is that we have the rectangle name here, and in the original exercise they just use the letters, those variable texts, but we won't be needing them. So we will be actually deleting it from here because we really don't need it. And we can also delete these elements because we won't be needing them. Of course, you can delete them after you've made new ones to be sure that you've done everything correctly, but I already know what I'm doing, so I'm deleting them. And I'm going to create a new object. And please pay attention that I'm using yellow formula because I want my letters on the website to look like the mathematical letters. And in some cases, I can't use the math emphasis. Like here in the variants, I can't use math emphasis. So I'll be doing my sides, name of the sides, name of the rectangles in this common equation element, and this will guarantee that they would look like mathematical letters on the website. This I will be calling the rectangle name, and also it has to be 12 variants. First one will be ABCD, and then I will copy it. Just doesn't work very fast. So I've actually have created 12 variants. In first 4 I have the name of the first rectangle. Then in the next 4 I have the name of the second rectangle. And then the last 4 I have the name of the third rectangle. The only problem with these formulas is that they are not really fast when you move through the options. Now I will place it here. And I will link it with my rectangle. Good. Now all the 12 options will be working together. Like this, but these are just 2 elements. Next step for us is to create the names of our sites. There should be also 12 of them. And for those, I will be also using the common equation. I could have used the variable text, which would be okay, but visually the common equation is more suitable for me. So I'll be doing the following. It is just create the sides of the rectangle, of each rectangle. Each rectangle has 4 sides, and we have 3 rectangles, so 12 altogether. So this is AB, and I'll be just placing it here to demonstrate to you, but I will be removing it after that because it's not necessary. So it will be looking like that, and on the website it will be the mathematical letters. And then I just create the BC. I'm looking at another rectangle right now, but it doesn't really matter for me. Not to confuse, you look at the first rectangle and get back to BC. I just dial BC, and that's how just one by one I create all 12 sides of 3 rectangles. Okay, I'm back with all the 12 elements, so I've created the 12 elements with the size of my 3 rectangles. They're here in the items. Next step, which I'm going to use, is to substitute this element, which was in the original one, meaning the question, with the one that I want. So it may be the question. Let me just ungroup it from the older group, and then so I know that it's the yellow formula. This is good because I can drag my other yellow formulas inside. So what I have to do is to actually check whether it's empty. Yeah, I see that it's empty. So I'm going to link it with my rectangles and my names of rectangles, and then just add my sides, name of the sides. So I'm linking it with a group. I get 12 elements, and just one by one. So which line is parallel to line AB? Then I drag the BC and so on. So in the first 4 I will have the first rectangle sides and etc. Good. So now for all the 12 variants of this element called question, I have chosen the sides of the rectangles by basically just dragging them in. Good. Next step, we have our answer. Options, it's called. Here, again, I don't need these. I will be deleting them. And I will be ungrouping it. And for my convenience, I won't be choosing the random answer order. I will be choosing it later. And I will also group it with my group with the rectangle and the question. And again, I have 12 variants. And now what I have to remember is that actually I have to know what side should be parallel to what side. For that, I will be better recording that on a sheet of paper, not to get confused. And also here I have 4 options. I don't know why, because we have 4 sides. So if we have one side in the question, then in the options we could have 3 other sides. That's why I would be actually removing one. And I made a mistake. I should have removed. Oh, I see that. I just don't have the number of options for the other variants. So, okay, first of all, I will show you a couple of first variants, how I do them. So here, variant number 1, which side is parallel to AB? We know that the correct variant is CD, so here we choose the CD from our items box and just drag it here. Now we should just drag 2 other sides of the rectangle to the incorrect options, which is BC and AD. Now, variant number 2, which line is parallel to BC? We know that it is AD. Here it is. We drag it from here like this, and then we add 2 incorrect options, and in that place we drag AB and CD. Here you go. And you do this with all the other sides. Good. I have chosen all options, the correct and the incorrect one, for all my cases. Of course, keeping in mind that I can't choose AB for this rectangle, only those sides which are relevant. And for more fun, I'll be doing them in the random answer order. Okay, now everybody is random answer order. Good, we have created the exercise. I'll be saving it, not to lose it. And the next is we're going to look at the solution steps. So in the solution steps, we have the following situation. So the equation is repeated, and then we have the answer. Everything has been deleted from here. So what we can do now is just copy the situation from here. Good. Also here I see some problem. Now this one has been copied, and all we have to do is to help with the solution step. The opposite sides of the rectangle are parallel, which means for this case that LM is parallel to NO. So we're going to delete these unnecessary elements from here, remain the parallel sign. Leave it the parallel sign, and then just make 12 variants of it and then link it to our group. So we may actually edit it by looking on our exercise. Yes. So variant number 1, LM is parallel to. No, we better link it first, and then we will be editing it. So we link it to the option, to the group. But now we have 12 variants, and then we can edit it freely. So here we have AB is parallel to CD. So all we do is drag AB from the elements in here and parallel to CD. like this. Now we're copying it, Ctrl C, and then we select variant 2, which is empty, and we just do Ctrl V, and we have BC is parallel to AD. So we insert BC from our elements in here is parallel to AD. We find AD and we drag it in here. And we repeat it with all our variants. I have edited my final answer. I'll be putting a dot in the end of the sentence, in the full stop. Like this. And I want to check my element, whether I've done everything correctly. I will just copy it and put it here. I will delete it later. And to switch faster between elements, I will select something which is not the formula, because formulas are really slow, and I will just click through all of them. So AB parallel to CD, BC to AD, etc. You see that everything is correct, everything corresponds. For that I'm using hotkeys. I'm holding the Control button and then the Tab button simultaneously, so everything is fine. I will delete this element from here. The solution steps are fine. These elements, I think they're not needed. These are old ones. Yes, those 4 I will be deleting. Yes, and all the others we need. So these are ungrouped, these are grouped. Let us save this exercise and see how many variants we have. For that we will close the exercise and refresh all. And we should have 12. So yes, we have 12. That is good. By the way, we should have chosen it. Yeah, we did have it to draft as a draft. That's good. Now we have 12 essential variants. What can we do to make it 50 or more than 50? Let us play with the text here. So instead of these, I'm going to write these and the following. So I'm just creating variable text. Will be this, and variant 2 will be the following. Good, and I will be placing it here instead of this word, this ungrouped element. Yes, and here also we can substitute this word with several others. For example, name. Then it could be choose and select. Good, and instead of this word we will put this element in here. So those are ungrouped. So let's calculate. We have 12 essential. Yes, so we have 12 essential. Then we have 2 here in the following or in this. And then we have 3 here. This makes 72 variants. Okay. Let us save it again. Close it. Refresh all to check whether we've calculated everything correctly. Yes, we have 72 variants. Out of these 72 variants, we have 12 essential, which is enough. And now let us preview this exercise in browser. So this is how it looks on the desktop. Here we have this image a little bit blurry, but this is just a preview. On the website it will be looking normally. It is just some unpleasant bug. And here we have the solution steps. they look like this. And on the mobile, we see that we know where is QR. Yes, and the correct answer is this one. And then the solution steps, it looks like this, and let's maybe reload it. NO, LM. Good, I see. Oh, everything is fine. Also, maybe I will do my images a little smaller. Not really sure. Maybe it will be enough for 300. Instead of 400 pixels. Let us preview it. Yeah, it's okay. So basically, all we have to do now is to rename it. So from the name, remove the copy off. And then again, it's not remember understand, it's apply. And we will substitute our old exercise with this new one, and we're good. Thank you for your attention. Hope this was helpful.